Good afternoon. Here we are live again. It's already Thursday. I cannot believe the week has just flown by. I want to say a big happy birthday to my grandson, James Berkeley Robinson III. He is 5 years old today. So happy birthday, BJ. That's what we call him, BJ for baby James. All right, so we're going to wait for a few minutes to see who's going to join us today, so we can find out what the herb. That's today's topic is what the herb. So I'm going to introduce an herb, and we're going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to tell you the benefits, and then we're going to be out of here, and you can finish the rest of your day. So yes, we're going to talk about an herb today. We're going to feature an herb. So just going to wait a couple of more seconds, I guess, a few more seconds. I hope your week has been productive. Hope your week has been great. Mine is just flown by with just coming in and getting set up and getting ready and for the lives has really been rejuvenating, I should say. So, but it's been great. I pray that you all have had a great week. Hey, Miss Normie. Hey, Miss D. Good to see y'all on with me today. Today, we're going to talk about an herb and we're going to tell about its sources, its benefits, and then I'm going to ask you if you use it and what do you use it for? How do you use it? Okay, so it is almost, I'm going to wait until it's 2 minutes and then we're going to go ahead and start. Okay, that's 2 minutes. We're going to start. So the herb of the week is basil. Okay, basil. So basil comes in a few forms. It comes in, I've seen it in grocery stores in like little pots, and you can have it as like a little live plant, and you can use it fresh basil as you cook. I've seen it where it's ground like this in the spice section. Okay, also used for cooking. It is also used as an essential oil. There's a holy basil essential oil. And then it's used in teas. So the dried basil is used in teas. As a matter of fact, our featured tea on Tuesday on Say Teas Please, it was Tulsi ashwagandha, and that Tulsi is another name for holy basil. So that was a combination. So you get your two for. So the benefits we described today for basil, you can add that with the benefits we highlighted in ashwagandha, and then you have the double whammy there if you're able to find that. You can go on if you want that particular brand and that particular combo. Amazon is always a go-to, so you can do Amazon. There's also a website that I use for different supplements and oils, and it's called Lucky Vitamin. And so you can also go onto their website. Their prices are really reasonable, and to find these teas or anything else that you might be interested in, vitamins, nutrients, or anything on the natural foods kick. Okay, so we're going to talk about types of basil. And I did not realize until I started reading about this that there were so many types of basil. But we're only going to name a few. Okay, so there's, as we already mentioned before, there's holy basil or Tulsi. There's sweet basil, Greek or sometimes called bush basil. There's even cinnamon basil, which is a native of Mexico. Lettuce basil, which has larger leaves than the sweet or the other basils. And then there's also Thai basil. Okay, so those are the four types that, and there's this one guy I was looking at, he went out and just bought seeds for multiple types of basil. He had like 8 types of basil. I only thought it was just basil. I see it in the store and it's just basil. So, for the most part, the most common is I think the sweet basil and the holy basil. And I would like to try the cinnamon basil. Um, so maybe I'll get into basils and just try different types just to see the experience, just to have the experience of having different basils. So we've talked about the come in fresh plants, crust essential oils, and part of teas. Okay, so what exactly is the benefits of bagels? What do they have in them? So they contain vitamin A, and vitamin A is good for our immune system because that's one of the things that we are so promoting on this our daily dose is what can I do for my immune system. So on Monday we moved, which made you smile, which is good for your immune system. It gives you a lift. It gives you energy. We listen to music, which is very good for your heart. It's good for your mind. It's good for your body. And on Tuesday, we did ashwagandha and its benefits and its properties for on Tuesday, excuse me. And then Wednesday, we had the benefits of water, which helps with your immune system. And the word, the holy word, I pray that you all really enjoyed Pastor Adolf because his sermon was awesome. So then we're going to move on. So it's good for your immune system. It's good for vision. It's good for your heart. It's good for lungs, and it's good for your kidneys. We're still talking about vitamin A. Okay, it contains also vitamin K, and vitamin K is good for bone health. It's good for brain health. It's good for heart health. So as you can see, like basil is really a really good herb to start using on a regular basis. Okay, it has calcium, and we know calcium is good for your bones. Iron, we know iron is good for the blood. Magnesium is good, and it helps with migraines. Magnesium does. It helps with depression. And so we also talked about on Monday when we were moving and we were talking about the music that it helps with your mood. It helps with depression. And then it also helps with your blood pressure. We also talked about, I think ashwagandha was good for your cholesterol and good for your blood pressure. So this is our herb for this week is basil. So now I'm going to ask you if you ever use basil and what kind of recipes, what kind of food do you cook that you use basil with? It's most of the time like maybe Italian dishes or Thai dishes. You see these spices, but more and more we should really get into using more herbs and spices rather than salt. Um, and a lot of things are, Mrs. Dash and other things that are salt substitutes. But we should really get into more changing our taste buds and our palates to really experience the robust taste of herbs and learn of their benefits and benefit from their benefits. Okay, so let's see if anybody has answered the question. Um, so I will let BJ know. Miss D, you said happy birthday. Hi, cousin. How are you? It's wonderful to see you on here. Um, Everybody, Felicia is my cousin. She's my second cousin on my mom's side, and I love her very much, and I miss her so much. But today, I hope everybody's heard we're talking about the herb basil. So if you've ever cooked with basil, um, let me know. Some people even just have like take the fresh basil and put it like in water. So on Wednesday we were talking about the importance of water and how we can consume water in different ways to make it more appealing, make it more palatable. And I had examples of fruit And then I said some people like cucumber water. I had lemons. Um, some people do basil. Some people do mint. Just different things in order to make the water more appealing. Because some people's like, I just can't drink plain water. So yeah, so some people just have basil. They'll make basil tea, like hot water and basil, or just in your ice water, and just to give it that extra flavor. And while you're giving it the extra flavor, like I mentioned with the fruit, you're also reaping the benefits of the nutrients and the vitamins that are in the fruit or in the herbs or whatever you choose to add to your water. Okay, so Norma says she's used it once or twice in an Italian dish. Okay, and she's going to start purchasing it more. Very good. Uh, so yeah, that's for the most part with me. It's if you see spaghetti or something like that, then or some kind of Italian dish, but there's also Thai basil, and I encourage you to go out and explore and maybe look for these different types of basils, and then look up recipes for them, healthy recipes for them, so that you could reap the benefits of their thereof. Where do you get flavored basil? Um, I wouldn't know. I've never had, because like I said, the only basil that I see is flavored is the one that says cinnamon, and I've never had. They said it's native from Mexico, but I've never had cinnamon basil, but I'm going to look for it now. Most of the basils, when I research about the taste, for the most part, they have the same like licorice-like taste, but some are stronger than others. So the other basils are probably about in the same taste category. Just I guess it depends on just slightly different variations depends on their makeup. But uh, I'm gonna look for the cinnamon, and they said it actually has a cinnamon taste. So I would be, and then look up a recipe that uses a Mexican recipe that uses that cinnamon basil. So my California mom is Mexican. I'm going to have to ask her about that and ask her for a recipe. Okay, Miss D says she used basil and rosemary on her baked chicken. Okay, yes, very good. Last evening, never had it any other way. That's true. I forgot about, yeah, basil and chicken. That's another good way to use that. No, cousin, I've never seen it either. I just said I just, ran up on it in trying to look up different types of basil and just never realized there was cinnamon basil. But, it's something to really check out. I would like to see the different uses and stuff for it. And maybe we'll circle back around and revisit that on our next Thursday if I'm or another Thursday. Depends on if I'm able to really get the information and then bring it back to you. But we know that basil is good for your immune system. It's good for your heart. It's good for your blood. It's good for your bones. It's good for cholesterol. So all of the things that we highlighted today. And it comes in the forms of fresh basil. You can grow it. And some of them are like the types that are little small potted plants. You can grow them in your windowsill or on your counter by the window, or you can buy them as I have in just like the crushed dried basil, or you can have it in an essential oil. There is an essential oil. It's holy basil oil. And so that's something that you can use topically. Look up, to see how you would use a holy basil oil. Um, just, I don't know if it's just something that's medicinally used or if it's something that you can add into your food. With all essential oils, you always look on the label, and if it gives you its like nutritional value, then it's consumable. Other than that, it's probably topical. So you want to check that out. Okay, So that's my tidbit for today, and staying true to my word. It is 10:45. It's been 15 minutes. So if you have anything else that or you think of any other recipes, or either come back like on next Thursday when we're here and to say, oh, I used it and or I found it and I'm going to use it, or I found a recipe, and then share with the group. That would be awesome. I want to each week reflect back on the other week just to see, like next Monday, we'll see how many times you turned on Melodies from Heaven. Miss Norma says she already played it once, and then did some movement. Doesn't matter if you do the movement that we did on Monday, or you just, you sat there and you clapped or you raised your hands or whatever you did, as long as you just moved. And that's the main point of moving and experiencing the melodies that God has placed in other artists to bless us and to give you movement on Tuesday. See if you can find that ashwagandha tea. And then now today we found out that Tulsi is actually holy basil. So if you want to get that combination, go on, either try. I looked at Walmart. Walmart has ashwagandha organic tea, but it's not that brand, but it's still ashwagandha tea. Like I said, you can try Amazon. You can always probably find it there, or on the Lucky Vitamin website. On Wednesday, we'll circle back around. We'll give another benefit of water, and then you'll let me know if you tried the fruit in the water, the fruit in the ice cubes, or lemon, or some other vegetable in your water to give it that refreshing, um, satisfying taste that you're looking for, that you're longing for, and that's beneficial to you. I know some people get water and then they spray this artificial stuff in it, and yeah, okay, that's another. And so then today, Thursday, we talked about the herb, and so the herb of the week is basil. So I encourage you to go out and purchase basil in any of the forms that we introduced today. Try it out because it will be beneficial to your gut health and to your immune system. Okay. Where do you go to? I'm just looking over to make sure that, um, okay. So nobody has any other questions. So thank you again for joining me. And then tomorrow it is Friday. And Friday is, what is Friday? Friday, we're just talking about keeping it real, like what's your concerns and this whole thing, whether it's your health journey, whether it's the state of where we are now as far as like the health of America. We're just going to chat because a lot of times, even with like, it's still dealing with your immune system, it's still dealing with your gut, it's still dealing with your health, because everything around you, everything that affects you affects your health. So we just, sometimes it's good to share, sometimes it's good to just get it out. And yeah, so Friday is just going to be, we're just going to talk about it. And then Saturday is I'm going to have a spice of the week on Saturday. And yeah, and Sunday, I'm kind of teetering on Sunday about, being a day of rest. Maybe I will combine it with Saturday. We'll see what the Lord says. I have a schedule for Sunday where it's at 3:30 Pacific time, 4:30 Mountain, 5:30 Central, 6:30 on the East Coast, just to share what your worship experience was that day, and then I will give you a benefit of rest, because we all need a day of rest. And so and rest is important. God rest on the seventh day of creation, so there has to be some big importance on rest. So we're going to introduce that, and we're going to talk about that. All right. So again, may the Lord bless you, keep you, have a fabulous rest of the day on Thursday. I got to go out and get a gift bag for BJ's Gifts and go over there and and love on him for his birthday. All right, so love you all for joining. God continue to bless and keep you. Until next time, I say goodbye. Thank you for joining our Daily Dose.